Hello and welcome to a second chat of the Now and Then pod. We made it to number 2. There's a new prop. So go check on my Instagram for that. Also, don't forget to subscribe. It helps me. I hate saying that, Cole. I hate saying that. But, you know, it helps me, man. Today I'm joined with a guy who I played quite a bit of cricket with. And guys, don't tell him I said this, but I'm pretty sure it was because the coach liked him. But in Cole's defense, he did play good rugby. And, you know, he's gone with the rugby, which has been cool to see. So yeah, Carl, thanks so much for joining me, bro. And how was your day off?
Yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks. Obviously, we've been on it since the beginning of the month, and we're going to finish it obviously on the 31st. But it's been a while since I played so much rugby in a short space of time. I think the last time was primary school, where I would play under 12, under 13, and then sevens all in one day. But it's been nice to be back on the pitch, especially from a COVID point of view. We would just train, and then you would feel like you're training for nothing in a way. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have something to train towards, and then obviously coming to the games and stuff, we were able to play. So it's been nice to basically train to play, if that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Carl, where did the love begin? You know, where did the passion ignite? And then also, I suppose what made you decide to come to Bosch, the best school in the world?
So I started out in quite a small private school called Parklands College back in the northern suburbs.
School.
Not much sport going on there. Top league sport in a sense. It's very much, I think, B league sport in a way, but a very much up and coming, decent academic school. I was fortunate enough to go to a very decent private school because my mom worked there. But my brother went to Bosch, and the passion and pride for the school kind of came through that point. Coming to all the games, I mean, you can ask my boots on the way back from rugby games. I'll be singing the songs that Bosch's song. I love the spirits and the vibe that Ron Bosch brought. And I mean, I would be playing touchies and 5v5 tackle games on the side of the field while my brother was playing and everything. And I think from that point of view, I think my parents saw that I really enjoyed it, and then I said to them I really want to head over. And then I was fortunate enough to have a bit of an inside lane with my brother, being at the school, and then got into the boarding house and got into Bosch, which was fortunate enough in 2013.
And then so obviously post school, post plet rage, you head up to Wits. Bit of an unconventional move for a boy from the southern suburbs. How have you experienced it there? What made you decide to go up to Wits?
Yeah, so it wasn't Wits originally that I came up to Joburg. I came on a contract to the Lions. So the first traction point was the contract obviously coming from the Lions. I got a offer from Western Province Institute and the Bulls, but
you don't want to go to the Bulls.
My ex-agent at the time and myself felt the Lions was the best option because 2 years prior to that, they won under-19 twice in a row with Gianni Lombard and that group. And then they won the under-21. And then obviously with Malcolm Marx and that whole team, they made the Super Rugby final twice.
Yeah.
And then when I came, it was their third time in a row. So we felt it was the best environment and best rugby and best union to come to as a junior.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd love to actually hear from you because you at Wits now, right?
Yeah. So I'm between Wits and Wits and the Lions.
So what's the chat at the unions? You know, is it encouraged to do Varsity Cup and then play at the union, or are you favoured playing just at the union? Because I mean, from an outsider's perspective, playing Varsity Cup, doing an undergraduate, and you've played your 3 years to under 21, and then if you crack the nod to like the step up, then great. But if you don't, at least you've pretty much almost finished your studies. So what's the feeling like at the unions or at
Yeah,
Lions?
I think that sums it up pretty well as a junior. So I came here on a 2-year deal originally, and then there was a big shake-up with South African rugby and everything, and they changed the whole setup. So my year is the last like traditional year of rugby, if that makes sense. So that's like when I say traditional, it's like you have under 19, under 21, under 21. But when it came to 2019, that next year they took away the under 19s. So they took away that, and then this year they're going to take away under 21 for next year. So there's only going to be an under 20 competition next year.
Okay.
So yeah, so when I came to the Lions, they encouraged us to be like cautious about just jumping into the whole varsity life, because like training 3 times a day and then going to varsity afterwards it's tough. It's tough on a lad. But yeah, so I took a rugby sabbatical in a sense, 2018, and then I started at Wits 2019, and then this is my second year now. So yeah, if I could throw out advice, the advice given now to youngsters is you definitely have to join a varsity, and then you have that backing, and then you can be obviously drafted or picked into a professional setup.
Yeah, and is it pretty like easy flowing from going from Varsity Cup into an under 21 setup? Like, is it like, do the Lions say, for instance, with Fitz have ranks, they'd be like, cool, Cal needs to join us this week. But I suppose that the Varsity Cup and the Currie Cup campaigns don't really clash, eh?
Yeah, so I think they've done it in a good way, where under 21 and Varsity Cup doesn't clash. But where the pulling rank situation comes is who you contracted with. So when I was contracted with the Lions, they could pull rank, but not being contracted now and contracted to Wits, I think they can pull rank. But fortunately, I'm still in agreement with the Lions, so I had the option of coming to play for the Lions with no hiccups or anything.
So you originally were on a 2-year deal, and then so your 3rd year now in Josie. So have you been like recontracted?
No, so I wasn't contracted for 2021 season. I'm contracted at Wits. I've been contracted at Wits this year.
Okay.
And then next year I'll probably be contracted by Wits again.
Okay. On a personal level, Cal, like how has Josie, the move to Josie, impacted you? Like, have you got any regrets, or has it been just plain sailing so far?
First year was tough, to be honest. Moving away from home and like starting a whole new life, and like you'd always think, like as a Cape Town lad, you always be like, no, Joburg, no ways. But first year, it took a while getting into, I'd say 3 or 4 months. I was going back and forth from home a lot. But then I started getting into it. I started enjoying it. It's a fast life. You just got to get used to that whole rat race type of thing. It's just the way Joburg is, and if you can't adapt to like the quick way of living out here, don't know how to exactly explain that. Then it's tough to be out here, because Cape Town, it's very laid back.
No, very laid back.
Type of vibe, but Joburg, they're always on it.
Have you
never sleep type of thing.
Have you noticed that? Like, was it noticeable as you arrived? Like straight away, you could notice a difference.
Yeah, I think straight off the bat, comparing like my training at Province compared to the Lions, it's like a whole new level of like intent, if that makes sense. So they're pushing you to your limits. They want to break you and then rebuild you from there. Obviously, it wasn't in the under 19 setup for Province. I don't know how they operated, but comparing like under 17, under 16, the way I train there to the way I train here is a whole different type of scenario.
Yeah. And then so for the under 21 campaign so far, has it gone as as you would have pleased? And now heading towards the final in what's the 31st, eh? 31st.
Yeah, so it's Friday.
Sure, that's yeah. So lots to improve on, or is it just tweaking small things?
Yeah, different mindset, different game plan. Obviously, we've beaten the Bulls, so they're coming with that whole revenge mindset type of vibe to the park. So it's going to be as physical as usual with the Bulls. But yeah, I think from our side, it's going to be just same old, keep it, don't fix what's not broken. That's going to be our motto. So, yeah.
What do you think the difference is? Like, so you look at Marty's and UCT. Like Marty's is this like hub of just ridiculous talent and everyone, they Varsity Cup winners all the time. And then you look at what the under-21s for Province did now. I know you guys put like 50 past them, didn't you?
Yeah, 52, I think. 55, I'm not sure.
What do you think? And also like the Sharks as well. That Sharks team of the game I watched, they played against Province. They had like, I think it was like 5 like Super Rugby Cup players. What do you think the difference is with you guys and them?
Between us and Province or us and Sharks?
Both. And what sets you guys apart?
Starting with Province, I think much younger pack than ours. I think they had 4 under-19 players in their team, and our pack was all 21.
Okay.
Yeah, all 21 if I'm not mistaken. So I think we had a bit of experience on our side, and I think also altitude comes into play with those Province boys because they were going, if I'm not mistaken, back and forth from Cape Town to Joburg. So I think from that point of view, it was always going to be tough for them because, like us, my year, the matriculant of 2017, we've had under 19, under 21, under 21. So we've had 3 years of getting molded and playing in this league, and it's tough. I mean, it's even tough for a young lad just to jump into a Varsity Cup team straight from matric, and for these boys to jump straight from school into an under 21 setup against a fairly experienced side like we had was always going to be sticky for them. So I think from a physical front, a game plan front, I think we did really well. I think we executed what we wanted to do. We played our test match rugby. We took points when we needed to take points.
It's that 60-meter kick, bro. I watched. It's crazy.
Yeah, 65 meters. That's crazy. Yeah. I think we've got the right players in the right positions. We've got the right leaders in the right spaces. So, yeah, really, I think we just did what we did, and it worked. And for the Sharks, I think the Sharks came with a game plan of going to be like physical up front with us because they saw us just lose to Cheetahs. Not sure if you saw that. They put 4 more tries past us. So us as a pack, we took onus on the situation, and we made a game plan to change that whole maul situation, and we snuffed that whole maul situation with the Sharks, and they couldn't maul us or anything. We took them up front, and we stayed patient, and we cut down on our penalties because we had a penalty count of 26-9 against the Cheetahs, which is you just can't play with that.
You can't win a game.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter how good your team is. And we brought that down to like 15 against a decent Sharks team, like a Sharks team filled with, I wouldn't say filled, but like the likes of Yvonne Rust and stuff that has played Super Rugby and Senior Currie Cup.
And they're 10, dude. That Butter Chamberlain also flipping.
Butter Chamberlain, yeah.
To have your 10 play, I think he made his debut against like the Highlanders or something. Like it's insane.
Yeah, big fan, really good player.
How have you, like, how could you explain the difference between Varsity Cup and this campaign where you're going to play the final in now? Like, what's the big differences there?
Oh, good question. Yeah, I think from a Varsity Cup point of view, it's like a playing in high school again, but just like on a whole nother level. There's a lot of fans, there's a lot of hype. You're playing under lights, you're playing generally at night, you're playing on a Monday. Students are going crazy and stuff. So there's a whole different atmosphere to Varsity Cup, which is unbelievable, very very cool to be a part of. But the intensity and everything is still there. I think from a provincial point of view, for us playing against, like, say for example, Bulls team, it's completely down to game plan. So
Okay.
you're playing against every single player is there on merit in a sense. So they're contracted players. They were decent at school. They were very good at school, and like, so it's a whole bunch of very good players coming together. Whereas Varsity Cup is like, you'll get the odd second team player that's in the team because there's one or two injuries, or he's come up through the ranks, and then it's like it's a different mix. So in the summary format, I think Varsity Cup is a lot more fun and a lot more unstructured.
Yeah.
Whereas a provincial game is very much down to how good your set piece is, and getting points in the right area, staying in the right territory, those type of finer detail things. Whereas Varsity Cup, I mean, if you score from your half, then you can get 9 points. So it's like, you can swing the game. You can swing the game in like a blink of an eye, which is I think that's what their aim was to make Varsity Cup rugby like very exciting.
Yeah.
Whereas provincial rugby is still your stock standard, like, structured rugby.
Yeah. So how is like, so I mean, I think you look at the NBA and they've got that bubble for the COVID.
Yeah.
How have you guys, and how has this campaign run with like COVID regulations?
Yeah, it was extremely stressful actually in the beginning when we did pre-season. They were climbing down our throats about COVID and saying just stay at home, don't do anything. Because their thing was, if you get COVID, then you're out for 2 weeks straight off the bat. Doesn't matter how sick you are or what you're showing. If you have COVID, you're off the bat for 2 weeks. Then return to play is another week. So that's 3 weeks. And then you're eligible after that third week. Then they're like, okay, cool, we can pick you. And then just regarding the structure of the tournament, it was tough to get picked then, because there's other players there that have got the detail, have been training with the team, are fitter than you. So yeah, straight off the bat they told us, try avoid it at all costs, stay at home, just chill. So I don't know if I got it and I was immune for 3 months or something, but I've fortunately tested negative every week. So they've tested us every Monday, basically, for the past.
So you guys getting tested every Monday?
Yeah, for the past month. So we got tested yesterday again, just to make sure for the final.
That's hectic. So Calla, so the first game, I mean, when I watched, you were playing 5. And when I watched you on Tinky Haynes, you're playing 8. How have you adapted? What do you prefer?
So obviously I prefer number 8.
But those
but
lineouts, I was so impressed. Like the lineouts were so good against Province.
I appreciate it. Yeah, my standard joke being 5 is silent for 8, but I had to bite the bullet. We've got quality loose forwards out here. So they said I didn't really have a choice, and they said they were keen on me as being line-out captain and everything, and I was keen for that responsibility. I mean, I've been fighting lock ever since I'm 14. I remember Mark Lindenberg telling me grade 11, I'm never going to play 8 for Bosch. That was a funny story, but here we are, bro.
There we are.
Games in at lock.
Yeah, no, it's been cool to see. But I mean, so you guys winning the U21 Currie Cup, touchwood.
Yeah.
So people say you win a World Cup, it like changes your life or whatever. In terms of you guys winning the Currie Cup now, the under-21s, what would that do for your guys' careers? So like as an individual, does it look good on the resume and be like, cool, he won the, like, is it a filtering system, or is it like, cool, feather in the cap, like now you gotta make your own way?
Yeah, I would say winning is a massive thing in sport. I think in general,
Yeah,
our coach's like favorite line is make each other famous.
I see it.
So if, for example, we win the final, it's a massive thing on the resume, and
Okay.
it gets a lot of eyes, a lot of attention, because you're a winning side, and you've obviously done something right to get that far.
Yeah.
So say for example, not for example, but a situation under 19, we lost 2018 a semi against the Bulls, and the Bulls went on to play the Sharks in the final, the under 19 final, and that Sharks team won. And I would say a big percentage of that Sharks team made that under 20 Bosch camp.
Okay.
So that type of example there is massive. If you're making a baby Bosch team, it's massive for your resume, it's massive for your
Yeah.
future, it's massive for your career. I'm not saying it's like you can't make rugby if you don't make baby Bosch, but it's obviously it's a big thing for you. So our coaches have chatted to us a few times. I've been with the same two coaches since under 19. And they said, if you made the final and then you get picked up to that book camp, it could be a different situation for you. And it's true. The coaches told us on the 90, I remember they said we were in a bit of a tough space. We lost 3 on the trot, and they said to us, look, boys, we've got each other's careers in each other's hands. And that was like a big shock for all of us, because it was really true. I mean,
And the coaches as well.
Exactly, yeah. And we came at the end of that 2018 year, and Oaks were, some guys obviously didn't get extended there on 1-year deals, and other guys 2-year deals got taken down to 1-year deals. So yeah, winning is a big thing. I would say if you win this, and if our team wins this under 21 competition, it'll put you in a much better boat than not winning, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting a cup and getting a title is a big thing for your CV.
Okay. So let's look at the 31st, like any guys to look out for from the Lions, and then also just a general comment on your feelings and the team's feelings towards Friday.
I would say, starting with the first point, I think got to look out for a guy called Mark Sneeman. I think that's been one of our best performing loose forwards. I wouldn't say loose forward, but forwards for us. I mean, you got crazy 6 turnovers against Province. Unreal talent. And then there's just so many players. Asanati, Manu, my lock partner, he's been playing incredible rugby. Lucas, so he can kick it 65 meters. It's mad. Yeah, bro, I'd go from 1 to 15. I think this is the best team I've played in. Team spirit, talent wise.
Yeah.
Just everything, bro. We in very good spirits at the moment. We have lost our captain, unfortunately, Travis Gordon. He's going for operation on his shoulder, unfortunately. So that's going to be a tough loss for us, leadership-wise and player-wise. But obviously, we're going to have to adapt to that, and he's gutted about that. But he's been good for us over the past 4 games. But we're excited. As a group, it's been a tough under 19, under 21 for us. We didn't perform at all under 21 last year. Under 19, we lost in the semi. So for myself and a couple of the other boys to be in our first final is going to be really, really excited, and we're really keen.
Yeah. So I wonder, you're going to obviously now gun for extended contract at the Lions, but I wonder, have you ever thought of maybe going overseas?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an option. it's kind of where the best deal takes me. What type of environment I'll be in. Will there be family around? You know, what does the contract entail, type of thing? Because my biggest saying that's been keeping me grounded is like the grass always seems greener on the other side. So you know, we would always say, "Yo, Europe seems so much better than South Africa," but you don't know that until you go. So yeah, between my agent and I, we're trying to come up with the best plan to see where I can go and where the best place is to be. So for now, it's obviously going to be South Africa for the next 2 years, I would say, and then see where my senior rugby takes me, because I'm first year senior next year. So
Okay.
at least I've got under 19, under 21, under 21, and then 2 Varsity Cups, and then my 3rd Varsity Cup coming up. So it's hopefully my resume I can build my resume from there.
Yeah. And then, so Calla, I always ask the guys who come on, bro, in the next 4 years, where do you want to be? Where do you want to see yourself?
Obviously in the green and gold.
Obviously, in an ideal world,
In an ideal world, I think I would like to be overseas in the next 4 to 5, 6 years. But yeah, I would have to see where it takes me, where rugby takes me.
Julian Roger, I love that.
Yeah.
Bruce, thanks so much. This has honestly been perfect. I've really enjoyed catching up, and I'm sure when I'm over in Josie sometime, we'll catch up over a few beers and chat a bit of rugby. So thanks so much for coming on, bro. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Robert. It's been nice, bro.